What's up, guys? It's Ivaldi Sako. Welcome to the show. Here we talk mostly about business, mindset, self improvement, things to get your life better in any kind of way. And today, mostly, we're going to be talking about planning and ancient wisdom from ancient books that will serve you in business, in your life, in getting your goals. And we're also going to be talking about uh, a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story of mine because usually what I do in this podcast is I tell you what I learned during my week. And this week I didn't learn too much because I was busy applying what I learned actually. Busy applying what I told you, updating my brainwashing system, my kind of motivation system to remember where I am, where I'm going, and things of this nature. Because you can get lost pretty easily, and sometimes you forget your goals and you forget why you want them, and it's really important to update all those things to keep your mind updated. And so I did that in this week. I basically applied what I told you to do, basically everything that I told you in the mindset training part. That if you have not yet watched or listened to the podcast, like this three podcasts slash training, because this is really mindset training that you could actually apply in your life and get effortlessly any result that you want. Like really, if you haven't watched this podcast, I think it's more important than this one. So you better watch this one. Either you better watch the series, the three part series of mindset training if you haven't yet, because it's great. I've prepared this podcast not like this one. This one it's kind of more like a usual talk to me to just document the process. Because if you don't know me, my name is Ivaldi Sako. I used to be the personal trainer of a guy that was making 300K a month. We ended up going in business together, and I ended up going in business myself. It's been 3 years now, and I'm documenting those videos in this podcast. What I learned to help you also become truly free and successful, or get to the next level, achieve your goals, get your life better. Right? I try to get my life better. I try to help you do as well. So this is pretty much the podcast. And this week I didn't do too much because of what I just told you. I was applying what I teach in my mindset training, right? And so I remembered a few things, and I remember the story of when I went to the beach. I'll tell you about it. But first, I'll tell you about how I plan, how I plan my kind of my life, because it's really important to plan. I used to not be very organized. I always struggled with being organized and knowing what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do it, and I was always overwhelmed. And it stopped. Like I stopped being overwhelmed. I started getting things done, and because I was like clear, I had a clear mind to be able to get things done. Because when you don't have a clear mind, you don't know exactly what you're going to do. You end up lost. You end up going everywhere and nowhere. Even if you have a goal, because if you want to plan, you first need a goal. You first need to know the direction toward which you're aiming. And when you have an aim, a precise aim, preferably, it's much easier. Like you don't need to always like I should do this, I should that. Like it's pretty clear. It's much more clear, at least, than if you don't have an aim. So if you don't have a goal, well, first of all, you need that, right? And if you haven't watched the three-part mindset training I talked about, I really suggest you do. Like this is one of the most transformational things that you could do. Like the most productive thing that you could do right now on the internet isn't even like reach out to clients if you have a business, isn't even make more money. It's like watching this and applying it, because it will change your life, because it will change your identity, and who you are will dictate the results that you get. Also, it will help you have aim to be able to come on this podcast and apply the planning, things I'm gonna be talking about. So, what I used to do is I used to plan. First of all, before everything, before I went into business, I used to never plan. I used to never have an agenda of anything. So I was very lost. Then I started planning. I thought, whoa, it's important to plan the day before. And so I started doing this. I started planning. I started, okay, I need to do this, this, and that, depending on what my vision of the future was, right? I have a goal. Okay, to achieve this goal, I need that many things to get done. So I went and, okay, this one, I need to do this, this, and that. And so I tried to do this. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this. And when you plan like this, it's good, but it's not optimized. It's not optimal to plan your day-to-day life every single day. Like, to me, it wasn't that productive, because oftentimes when you have a project, you have certain things that you need to do before others. And so you need to plan and prioritize. And this is key. When you prioritize, you you play chess. It's you're playing you just like you're like you think about which things you need to do before which one, right? Okay, I need to do this first, because if I get this done, then all of the other things, I will have all of the components to be able to get them done. Sometimes you need, for example, if you, uh, I don't know, I don't have an example right now. If you have a certain project that requires you a video, and for this video you need um, a script for this video, well, you need to get down the script before you get down the video, because the video is depending on the script. So you get what I mean, right? So you need to plan accordingly to what was just like sequencing, right? This is the thing, sequencing what you're going to do in your week. So what I do right now is, when I plan the Sunday for the entire week, and I plan understanding and knowing my priorities. So I talked about this before. It's basically, I've prioritized my life into 5 different categories, maybe. So it's my faith, my health, my business, my passion project slash YouTube podcast, and every other thing, right? So anything else is like less in priority. And so, because of this, I've structured my week accordingly with this. So what's below in my priorities, so what's fifth and sixth and anything else, I always let them down. I always let them at the end of the week. So I just like have less energy, and it's not first. So if something goes wrong in the week, right? I have like, it's not that important that they didn't get done the lower priority things, but the number one priority things are really high. And so when you plan first thing Monday morning, this thing has to be very, very high priority, so you know it's going to get done. Because even if it takes way more time than you expect it to be, even if something went totally off, you still have the rest of the week to get it done. And so this way is like so much more productive, more efficient to get things done this way. And so after this, when you have your priorities listed, you have some goals in each priorities, and for each goals you see, okay, for this high priority goal, I need to get this done and that done. And you list all the things that need to get done for your one goal in your priority, and you list them. Okay, this one goes first, then this one goes second. And so you plan them accordingly. And you set time during the day where you have high energy, and you put those things that require you, that are high priority and require you high energy, you put them first thing in the morning, because you have more energy. Like, I'm assuming that you have high energy in the morning. If you don't, maybe it's in the evening for you. I don't think so. It's not logical. Like, most of the time, we have high energy when we have not yet worked 8 hours, right? So if you work a job and you come back later, whatever, right? But you plan them when you can best achieve them, when you can best get the things high priority done. That's the time that you plan them. And so when you do this, it's pretty easy to get them done, and you make a lot of progress because you focus on the high priority things, right? And I've read the one thing, the book, the one thing from I don't know who I don't remember, but he says that it's kind of um, not right to have priorities, but you should have a one priority without an S at the end. Like it's just one. That's a priority. That's the one thing that you need to have. And so oftentimes we have multiple priorities because our lives is are you know divided between multiple things. So I think it's great to have one big goal, one big thing in each priorities, in each of your categories in your life. Because when you do have multiple categories in your life, right? So you can't say, okay, I'm only going to focus on business. I did that. It doesn't work because then your health comes back at you and you can't do business anymore because you're injured yourself. That's that's what happened to me. That's what happens when you don't uh, realize that you have multiple categories in your life, right? If you don't focus on your relationships at all for too long of period of time, your relationships will crumble. Like you won't have any friends anymore. If you have no care whatsoever about, for example, if you're lifting weights, if you don't care at all about stretching, well, let me tell you, it's going to hurt when you're not going to be able to do any movements anymore, or when you're going to injure yourself so fast, so quickly, because you're not going to be like flexible at all. It, it's bad. So you need to realize you have multiple areas, multiple categories in your life. So for me, it's I realized that my faith, my health, my business, my podcast, and then my relationships, then my personal development came uh, at the end, right? My personal development, when sometimes I realized that it should be a priority because my business is suffering because of my personal development, because of my lack of skills or something like this. Well, I put it first, right? So I adjust at the same time depending on the situation. And you need to do this too. It's something that you need balance. You need to move with. It's not something that's fixed. Sometimes when you're in a season in your life when you need to focus more on your health, like I did. Like it's been like 7 months. I've been really focused on my health more than anything else because I've before that focused only on business, and because I focused only on business, I hurt tremendously my health. Like I worked way too much. I didn't prioritize any social life, any. I didn't care. I didn't get out. I was at home every single day, almost never getting out. And so it hurt because I didn't realize I had multiple categories in my life that I need to take it. I need to take care of all of them at the same time. It's not like you need to just like you focus fully on business and that's it. For a short period of time, it might be okay. The problem is that when you extend it, it doesn't work. Like you crumble. At one point, you crumble. Believe me. Like I tried it. I wish it worked. It's much easier for me to just go all in and not care about anything else, and not think too much about all those things I need to get done. Oh my god, I need to pay taxes. I need to, I need to do. You have too many things in your life to just focus on one thing. So it's one thing in all areas of your life. So what's the one thing, as in the book it says, what's the one thing that if you did, all everything else wouldn't matter, or it would make all things much easier, right? And so when you think about this, you think about the different projects that you could take on, and to get this done, you have your priorities, so you list them, and you week, and it's so smoother to to see your week like from an iBird perspective and see exactly what's gonna happen because you can you can process things much easier this way. When you plan day to day, it's too restrictive. Like you can't see too much in the future to be able to prioritize things when you plan day by day. When you do plan the week, it's much easier. And mind you, what I do is I plan the week, and so I have my priorities. I plan the week with my priorities, and then when I plan the week, I have set different things in my week to get done, right? And so in each of these things, each day I plan it to very much more precisely. I'll tell you, I kind of journal as well. And I'll tell myself, okay, what things I need to get done today, what are the priorities, and what are the projects going on this week. So I list the projects, I keep in mind those things to be able to, well, keep them in mind, and at the same time be able to just uh, adjust depending on what's happening. So I have my priorities, and I then list, like, I basically plan like hour by hour everything on Google Calendar. I do it all, and I know exactly what needs to get done. Like, it's very easy and efficient. And the first thing that you need to do, to be honest, when you plan, is to know where you spend your time on first. Like, have a structure of your day and also your week. So for me, like, I have almost every day the same exact day. It's like crazy. Like, it makes things so much smoother. It makes things very easy when you have a very similar day every single day. Because when you don't, it's like just a mess. To be honest with you, and the only day that changes for me is Sunday, and because I plan, right, and so I take a little bit, like, kind of a rest day, but like it's not very much a rest day. It's like a calmer day, Sunday, and every other day it's like pretty much the same thing. Also, the Saturday I'll let that as a how do you say that? I'll let uh the Saturdays, forgive me, as some, if I mess up in the week, right? If something goes wrong in the week and some project takes me more time to get done, I have something came up, right? I have the Saturday. I don't plan too much on it. I plan Monday through Friday, and then Saturday I kind of let it loose, right? If I can enjoy some free time with my family, my friends, if I can talk to someone, right? If I get out, well, I can. But if something goes wrong, I also can fix it and still get as much done that I needed to do during the week. It's much, when I did not do this, my life was a mess. Like, to be honest, it makes things so smoother. And the best way to plan your week is, first of all, to have goals in your week and with your priorities. But also, when you have done this for 1 week, you have to reflect back on the week before, the week that passed. What did happen? What did you get done, right? What didn't you get done? What could have you done better? How can you improve? Right? You have to do this AAR, after action report. I got this from David Goggins, and you just see bluntly, okay, what did I do? Okay, I did this. I did this well. This well as well. I did that not too well, and this one I didn't get done. Like, I didn't have the time. I put too much things on my plate, so I was overwhelmed. I wasted time. Okay, so next time you can adjust. Next week you can plan accordingly of on what happened last week, and so you can make progress a lot faster this way. And also, what I do is also I also, because I have multiple section on my business as well, multiple sections in my personal development, so what I learn, multiple sections in my health. So in each of those things, I kind of summarize the week and everything that I learned. Everything is also basically what I do with this podcast. Having podcast is like very, like, you express yourself, you externalize your thoughts, and so it's just like very relaxing. Even though I don't feel like relaxing too much, but like, it really helps you, kind of resume. I don't know if you can say that in English. You kind of have a journal on what happened during the week. Personally, this is what I do. I do this each week. So at the end of the week, I do this podcast and I tell you about what I learned, right? So it kind of, mixes all the things and gets my mind to have some kind of, you know, okay, I did that, but I didn't do this. This time was great. This time was not that great. So I feel like it's pretty useful. Also, I I'm reading an ancient book. I bet you don't know this book. It's called. It's very. It's not very well known. Anyway, it's the Bible. All right, and I'm a Christian. All right, so it will serve you even though if you're not a Christian. It will serve you if you don't even believe in God. I take things that I can learn from ancient books like the Bible, and I apply it in business and personal development and how I can get better, achieve my goals, have a better life. And I think you can do this as well. It's very useful. And I did not think that before. But once I got started to actually increase my faith, I started to read each verse and ask myself, okay, what does this mean? What can I take from this? And when I started doing this, I started learning actual things, I almost had more experience because of this, like the experience of the people that wrote the Bible, right? I ingest this experience because I actually ask myself, okay, what does this mean? Because sometimes it can mean multiple things. You can take from it a lot of things in your life. And so I did take a few things this week. Or maybe one thing. One very important thing. Exactly. It was the verse of Corinthians. I don't know if I can I pronounce things well in English. I'm French, by the way. This is why I have some kind of struggle speaking English, but like sometimes I do pretty well. So this is the verse, Corinthians 15:50. I'm not trying to preach on you at all, right? I'm going to tell you business things or like things that will improve your life. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. And that hit me because I was like, whoa, that's exactly what I learned last week. I relearned last week, like I remembered. And what does this mean? I asked myself, okay, what does this mean? How does this apply to business? How can I grow with this? Well, you could take that literally, but we're not going to do this here. It's not a Christian show, it's a self development business show. Something like to help you make more money as well. So, well, to me, it just meant that just like the mindset training that I talked to you about, you need to change your identity. You need to embody a new flesh, a new person. If you are right now corruptible, you cannot get the things of someone that is incorruptible. If you are right now distracted, you cannot right now get the things of someone who is focused. Pretty logical. But sometimes we don't realize that we are corruptible. We are distracted. We are not that much disciplined. And so we expect to get the things of someone who is very disciplined, who is very focused, who is very hardworking. But we are not really. And first of all, it takes to look at the accountability mirror of David Goggins, right? So you look at yourself in the mirror and you see, okay, here's the truth. Here it comes. You're not a great runner. This is what David Goggins tells himself, right? You're not a great runner, man. And he tells himself like things bluntly, like you're fat. This is what he says to himself, right? You're fat. You're dumb. And so you realize and you take the truth and it hits you. You face it, and then you deal with it. Even if it hurts, it really will help you out. It will help you out determine what you need to do, who you need to become. And with this, it's like to inherit the kingdom of God, to inherit your goal, because the kingdom of God is the goal of the Christians, right? Your goal is your goal. So, what's your goal, first of all, right? You need a goal. Who can achieve this goal? To achieve this goal, you need to be a very good, very well known businessman. You need to be famous to achieve this goal. Imagine. Well, how do you expect achieving this goal without being famous, without being a great businessman, without being this kind of person that does not get distracted, that is very confident? How can you expect to get this dream life that you want? You can't. You need to change. And this is why the mindset training, the 3-part series mindset training that I talked to you about in the beginning, it's life changing. Like, this is why it's so important. This makes reference to this. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Your body right now cannot inherit the kingdom of God. It's your spirit, right? This is what, for Christians, this is what it says. For you businessmen, you right now are not skilled enough. You right now have lack some kind of beliefs that hold you back. You need a new belief that will help you get to who you need to become in order to be able to get to your kingdom of God, to your goals. If you want to be healthy, you can't be an unhealthy person. You need to become healthy before you're even like looking healthy. I was a personal trainer, right? So if someone binge eats, right? So if you're a binge eater, you can't get the body of someone who doesn't binge eat, right? You if you're fat, it's because you're a binge eater. If you are a healthy eater, if you're someone that doesn't eat a lot, you will have the body of someone who doesn't eat a lot. You will have the body of someone who is healthy if you eat healthy. If you are healthy, you'll have the body of someone who is healthy. That's the goal. You need to become the person first in order to have the things that this person has. That's so so easy, and sometimes a lot of people talk about it, but the application is much harder. Like, I've noticed this in me, and this is why brainwashing yourself is so crucial. Like, controlling your thoughts, because your thoughts will control the beliefs, and the beliefs will control the actions that you take, and the actions that you take will get you new results. If you believe something great, you'll do something great, and therefore you will have something great. You will have a feedback, a result that will be great. I'm telling you, if you don't listen, watch, and apply the mindset training, you will regret it a lot when you come to realize, oh my God, this was very, very important. Just telling you, I'm not, I don't gain nothing telling you about this, right? I did this free. I don't sell you anything. It's just like pure, like free. Hey, here you go. But don't take it as something free. Take it as something that's worth like a lot of money to you. Like, if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars each month, take this as it's making like it costs $10,000, right? $100,000. Take this as valuable, make it as valuable as possible to make actual progress, to actually take it and apply it. Because if you think it's not valuable, you're not, like, this is this is the exact same thing. It's because you believe is this is not valuable, you will not act on this training, and so you will not get results. But if you believe this training is worth a lot, then this belief serves you, because you will take a lot of actions to apply the training, and you will get tremendous results. Control your thoughts, control your beliefs, control your actions, control your results. I feel like I'm kind of overselling this to you, but like it's very, very important. Like, it's changing my life. It changed my life already. Like in the beginning, I started getting results in business because of this thing. I brainwashed myself to success. Like really, it's whoa. Even now, thinking back again on it, it just like was so useful. I really hope you do watch or listen to and apply the mindset training. Like it's much more. Like it's much better than this one. Believe me, it was prepared. It was like I knew what I was talking about because I've been doing this for so long. Then I I read another um, verse. It was kind of the same place, right, in Corinthians, and it says, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality." It's exact same thing. If you want to be immortal, you need to do things that someone who is immortal does, right? And so, actually, I don't know what would this mean literally. Like, if you took that and apply it as a Christian, I don't have much idea how. I don't know. For this corruptible must put on incorruption. Well, this is pretty obvious, right? Right now, if you get distracted, if you know you're doing things that you shouldn't do, you need to stop doing them. Plain and simple. But for this mortal must put on immortality. How do you put on immortality? Maybe this is for you creating a great impact, making people believe in a cause that will help them get their life better. Believe in the movement. Maybe it's inspiring people to make their lives better. And through their lives being better because of you, you outlive yourself. Maybe it's writing a book to help people while you're not here anymore. So you're kind of immortal. This is why people write books, I believe, when they're older, because they believe that they need to contribute and to outlive themselves. Also, maybe this is having kids. You outlive yourself through your kids. Your kids carry on who you are, right? You view yourself in them. I don't know if it's still recording. There's something wrong, I think. Okay. Oh, it's still recording. Oh, I gotta go. This is why. Okay, I'm recording on my phone. Sorry, guys. But I'll get to this quick story before I go. I was remembering a few memories and watching old photos, old pictures of mine to get a sense of okay who I was, where I come from, where I am right now, and where I need to go. This is the mindset training, right? I was applying this again. I was updating this, and I came across a picture of the beach where I went with my parents a few years back, and we were we were going getting out of the car and taking something off the trunk. And so I was there. It was hot, right? Summer. I was shirtless, normal, like a lot of people were there, and I was on the side of the road, and there are a lot of traffic. And then a car passes by, woman, a woman, a lady, driving it, with her family and husband at the side, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. After the fact, I was pretty sure, and it was stopped like kind of like a meter from me, so like pretty close. But there are a lot of cars that wait for some people to get out of the parking place so that they can park their car there because they were looking for places to park their cars. And so we were there and we were getting things out of the trunk. I was smiling, I was happy. I was like, yeah, I was smiling and talking with my parents. And I was in my thoughts. I don't know what I was doing, but like I looked away and I see in the left mirror of the car. So the little mirrors on the side of the car, right? And so I saw the woman driving it there looking at me. She was looking at me. I was like, I was already smiling, so I was like smiling, and then I said, like, no, we're not getting out, right? This is what I said, but I had my hand. If you're listening to this, I had my hand, waving like open, just like a kid would say hi, right? And so I just said kind of hi, but like I didn't mean to say hi. And so the woman waved back, and I was surprised. I was like, I want to say no. I didn't really totally like say hi perfectly. Like I was like, no, we're not gonna die. We're not getting out, right? So we're staying here. And then she waves back in the mirror. I saw her, and then I was like, well, that's weird because I didn't realize what I did. And so I was laughing even more because I saw her waving back, and then I see her husband looking at me, like, hey, and he didn't say hey. He's just like, who do you saying hi to, right? And then I saw him, and he just like told her to close the mirror, right? So he just like, okay, close the mirror, and I was like, whoa, okay. That so I saw that he was very not uh, confident. Like I saw that he was like kind of threatened by me. Actually, it was not a nice thing to do, to be honest. Like I shouldn't waved at a married woman with kids, and I didn't know. I didn't mean to wave at her. I was like, no, but she waved back. I was like, well, that's funny, and and so I noticed like her husband, apparently her husband, like didn't like it, and it's normal to not like that, right? But if he was truly confident in himself, he was truly like not scared that I was going to, you know, be a danger to him or his couple, he would have not done that, right? I was with my parents. Like, come on, like it, you could see that I was not a bad person or weird guy, right? And I think that she just like, I think she liked me, right? And I'm sorry. And this is the benefits of being strong, being muscular, being very confident. Like I was kind of almost cocky at that point, I think. And you know, he was the contrary of cocky. He was very like insecure, I think, because he looked weak, and I was sorry to see that. I was laughing, to be honest. We didn't do contact. We didn't have any problem. It's just like I I saw that reflecting back on it. I was like, whoa, that's funny. Like going to the gym, being muscular, being strong, being confident, all those things really serve you. Like if it was a very strong and capable man, I don't think he would have reacted that way. He would have laughed and just not cared about it. He would like not phased by it. I think this is what a man truly like confident in himself and not feeling threatened by anybody would do. And so it made me laugh. I was like, this is very useful to go to the gym. I've been going to the gym since like I was. It's been like 7 years, I think. I've been going to the gym, and I've been I've been training on my body weight for much more than that. So it's very useful. Like it builds you up. It actually build me up. I realized that the thing that changed my life most was this. Like I was at 12 years old, I decided that I was going to do every single day as close to 100 push-ups every single day. And I did that for a long time. I did not. Forgive me. I never was able to hit 100, but I got to 99 push-ups, and I was so mad not have been able to reach 100 push-ups. And I bet it's because of my belief. I bet it's because I was not in my mind the kind of person that was able to be doing 100 push-ups in a row in one set, right? I was not that kind of person. I didn't have this identity in me. And because I didn't have this identity, I was not able to do this one more push up, which logically, it just makes sense that at one point I could hit that. But I did not. And it was because, I'm sure it was